Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. Hang out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy Ted.
And today we do a GM 911 and help this GM break out of his time trap. We're going to start this video by thanking our sponsor, Easy Roller Dice, for all your dice rolling needs, whether it's your first set of dice or your 1 millionth set of dice. Easy Roller Dice. Down in the description below, you can find easyrollerdice.com/Nerdarchy to get your set of Easy Roller Dice. There's also a one-time coupon code for 20%. Go grab some Easy Roller Dice.
All right, so we received a GM 911 from Glyphtron, and he's got to work, or he would like to know, how do you work on pacing?
Well, you know what other people might want to know is how they can send their GM91s to Nerdarchy at nerdarchy@gmail.com. Put GM91 in the description or in the subject line. And as always, in the description, we will have the original GM91 post for you.
So he's got characters who started a game over the course of 10 in-game time, 10 days in-game time. They went from level 1 to level 6. They fought undead hordes. They fought a demon, and they're gaining power way too quickly. And he wants to know, how do you properly pace it so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen?
Well, the first thing and the easiest thing you could do is, as players and GMs, just slap on the blinders and just not give an F and just play the game and have fun, right? And not worry about it. Done that for years, never really seemed to hinder our game. So that is actually like one of the easiest things you can do. But, you know, if you want to make it more realistic and, more believable in your game world, there are definitely some things you can do. Because, like you said, 2 different undead incursions and fighting a decent demon in battle, like gorestro, I believe.
Gorestro.
Yeah, that thing, the giant minotaur-looking one.
So that's incredible to be like, oh, yeah, 2 weeks ago, I just finished my apprenticeship, and now I'm taking down demons. I'm awesome.
Yeah, there's that, or it's like, hey, I fought a demon, and what do you call that? I call it Tuesday, actually.
But, so, as Dave says, there's a number of things that can be done. If you really want to work on this, as the DM, this is 100% on you. Players don't really get a say in this. First and foremost, you can do milestone leveling. What this means is, as opposed to tabulating XP, once you've reached your allotted number, you get to level. Now, this is where your GM says, you level when I say you get to level, and that's just what you do. That's how we do it in our games. It saves a ton of work on us as GMs to have to figure out, oh, well, how much XP am I giving here? I am certain that the things that my players have come up against, they would have been 30 or 40th level by now. Easy, because we've been playing for over 3 years at this point. So it's just no way for them to not be where they're at. And they're only 15th level in my game, because that's what I think makes the most sense.
Well, that being said, even in that game, it's only like 30-some sessions. So it's like every 2 sessions we gain a level, and we don't, even though it's a long out-of-game time that we play, that we've been playing these characters, we only play a session a month. So it probably pans out that way. But it is an easy way to control the pacing, like you said, of doing it. Oh, you defeated an undead incursion? All right, guys, take a level. You defeated a second undead incursion? Take another level. They're now 3rd level. Major demon? Yeah, you guys got to run. Like, it's not going to work. So, like, these are definitely things to take into account. And the other thing is, like, at pacing as the GM, spread things out. Like, why do they have to go from one adventure to the other? Like, that's going to make for a short career. Like, even if they're successful, like, almost think in the terms of professional sports, right? Those guys, they may play once a week and they have a season, then it ends, and then nothing's going on. But even that is very rigorous, so their careers are very short. Because because even if they don't suffer any major injuries, it's just too much punishment for your body. Well, imagine being, an adventurer. Like, that's like being an extreme athlete. So why not put in downtime? Why not go, all right, you guys took care of this undead incursion. It's gonna take you like a month or 2 to just clean up all the bodies, figure out what to do with everything, get life back to normal. Maybe you're doing some other things in the meantime. The town is super grateful. They put you up at the inn the whole time. You got a place to stay. You know, they celebrate you for a while, and eventually they're kind of like, are you guys gonna leave ever? And then
There's
that's the next adventure.
parties and autographs and all that stuff.
Book signings, book deals, goes on and on.
Now, as things begin to happen, you have left clues as to these different happenings. You fight the first undead horde. Okay, well, that was weird. I fought a whole bunch of undead. Well, by the time the second undead horde rolls around,
you start asking yourself, is it me or is it them? I don't know anymore.
Where are these coming from? Why are they coming? So you could begin to investigate. You can begin to research.
Where are all these dead people like to come back as undead?
So that's multiple things to look at. Where are they coming from? Who's sending them? And why? Each of these questions could be quests in and of themselves. They could be things that are researched in between sessions that, okay, over the next 2 months, you guys go and do this. You find this information. And now 2 months have gone by where you haven't fought and killed anything. Yay, time is transpired. All's great. Well, if you do that and try to get all the answers, well, now you've got, many months that have gone by, a half a year even, and you're putting together these clues. Well, maybe you don't want to do all of that behind the curtain, and you want to do stuff at the table because you might want to have random encounters on the road, or you might want to role play talking to the librarians, see what other kind of side quests could wind up getting picked up while you're on this road. All of these things wind up delaying from your main plot line that's going of who is doing this. Because I look at 2 undead hordes and a demon. To me, that screams evil wizard, sorcerer, warlock. Some kind of arcane spellcaster is behind it.
Demon Lord Orcus, maybe.
Could be a demon lord, but I'm already doing heavy stuff with the demon lord, so I'm trying not to think on that line.
Well, here's the other thing, too. And if you feel like you need to do a lot of this stuff in session, in game, you can zoom in and out with time, And look to books. They do it all the time, right? If you read, like Dresden Files, we like reading those books, and usually the story takes place in like 48 hours, right? It's this really condensed time where there's no sleep, they're just focusing on this problem, and then like we don't see or hear from Harry again for months, maybe even years, and then the next thing is going on, and there's no reason why you can't do the same thing away from the table or even at the table. Like if you're like, oh well, they have to go research stuff or they need to go someplace, and you want to do random encounters, you can ignore 2-3 weeks and be like, oh, guys, one night at camp, here's what happens. You guys, you would get like the general standard, this is how we operate, right? And go, this is how watches happen, boom, boom, boom. And we always know that. And then you go right into, hey, Sir Roderick is on watch. He's got the middle watch and he hears a noise, And then you go into the encounter, the thing, whatever it is, whether it's role playing, exploration, or combat, doesn't even matter. And then, another week passes by and nothing happens. Like you don't have to narrate every single day. You can just fast forward. Maybe the return trip is uneventful because they're just so much better at avoiding dangers now. You could even narrate that there was some dangers, but because they're so experienced and such great adventurers, they were able to circumnavigate them, or they put them down easily because it was 3 goblins, and that they were able to dispatch with no problems whatsoever. And again, if you're not actually tallying XP and you're doing milestones, this doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the players, and they could have been dirt poor anyway, so there was nothing to really gain from it. But what you've done is you fast forward parts that you really don't need to talk about and narrate, and then when they're actually at the place, maybe it's a library they needed to go to in a major city, you could say, well, you took 2 weeks to do X, right? Well, you don't have to go through all of that. You might zoom in and zoom out to things that are relevant or interesting, or if the other players are doing stuff while that's going on, you might look at some of that stuff, or you just might say it happened. But the key to making time go by really is a lot of hand waving, and just saying it went by and saying, "Hey, was there anything important I need to know that you wanted to do during this time?" Or maybe the ranger literally just lives a simple life and living in the woods or living in someone's barn and does just a simple chores to get by, doesn't really care, wants a simple life until the next time he has to defend the realm or whatever. Maybe there is a downtime section in Xanathar's Guide to Everything, as well as the DMG. Maybe your rogue is pulling some minor heists and he doesn't even want the rest of the players to know about that stuff. So you can talk about that stuff away from the table, away from the party. But again, it gives your players an opportunity to interact with the world that isn't just strictly adventuring. So you might want to consider doing those things, and it also will then spread out the time, and it will kind of fix your pacing problem.
So as we said earlier, this is absolutely 100% on you as the GM. That if you think things are moving too fast chronologically, you've got the ability to reach out, pull that lever, and slow that train down. Insert downtime however you want, be it a menial day job that they return to until the next adventure springs up, whether you want to revisit old rules from earlier editions and insist on a training session to unlock your new level worth of abilities that could take a couple of weeks, or just, oh, there's nothing going on, so you let me know what you're doing until this winds up happening, or any number of other ideas. There's a break. Insist it, make it happen, and when the next undead horde attacks, the next demon shows up, they're ready to go, but time has passed because
that's what time does.
Because that's what time does.
Yeah, you could literally just start your next session. Okay, guys, it has been 6 months since you all got together, and and insert the reason why they're getting together now. And by doing that every couple sessions, you'll see that you'll start adding years to your inside your campaign world, and then it makes a lot more sense that these guys are 10th level, but it's been 5 years in the actual game world, and they're very active and they're doing really crazy stuff. So that kind of speaks to why they have so much experience.
Right. So I played a game once where the game was literally titled, the yearly get together. So every session was, a year later. So however you want to do it in your game is going to be entirely on you. If you guys have any thoughts out there or any questions out there, it's a great part to put that down in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Can also, while you're down there, check out Easy Roll of Dice /Nerdarchy. You get that promo code.
So until next time, stay nerdy.